All right, man. Let's talk about Frank Ragnow. He abruptly retired. Some people think it's over the money. I think the Lions already knew he was retiring. He had been talking about retiring last couple of seasons. They drafted Tate Redledge out of Georgia, who basically was training to be a center at Georgia. Also, they drafted the guard out of LSU, who's played damn near every position across the offensive line, including center. I believe he transferred from another school too. I can't remember the name of the school. So the Lions were prepared for this. I thought that they basically may find a backup center last year, but they chose to do it this year because you already had Graham Glasgow. So I think what you're probably going to see, they got Tate Redledge taking first team reps at center. But the thing about it is, um, how much of the continuity you want to mess up. But check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist, thumbs up the video, share, subscribe to the channel. The question is how much of the continuity you want to mess up, because this is why. Um, Panisa Will is going to be a right tackle. Taylor Decker, he stayed, right? Christian Mahogany, he's fairly new to the offensive line. Y'all know it. Um, yeah, he's new to the offensive line, even though he has some camaraderie with those guys. So really, your tackles, um, they've been there. So when you dig in the inside, Graham Glasgow been there. So right there, what's that, about 75% of the offensive line. So Glasgow been there, Sewell been there, Decker been there. Mahogany's pretty much been there too. Injured, but integrated well. But do you really want to go there and say, you know what? Let's move Graham Glasgow out of position back, well, move him back to center and bring a rookie in. Then you do from our line of about 70-75% intact. Then what you do is now what is you below about 50%. Because Graham is going out of position. That take away like 20-30% right there. So I think the smart thing to do is just go ahead and say, you know what, Tate Redledge, your time to shine. You know what I'm saying? It's your time to shine. Whoever you and the guy from LSU, whoever figure it out first and better, gonna start you at center. The opposite is gonna be Graham Glasgow backup. So now you have an open competition for the guards. I mean, for the potential starting spot going after this year behind Graham Glasgow. So you're gonna have, so that makes more sense. Why you got three starters intact on that offensive line? Why move one and make it only two? Because now you got Glasgow moving the center. So you go about 60, 70, 75% of the offensive line being intact. You move Graham Glasgow to the center, now you below 50%. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So now you keep Graham where you at. You deal with the bumps and bruises of center with Rutledge, or I forget the other guy's name, Frazier. Whoever win the position, the opposite. They fight for Graham, the backup behind Graham Glasgow and Mahogany, which you fighting with you know, I think they still got the African guy like him, Asukua. Then you got Corey Sorsdale. I believe that Manu Giovanni guy is going to be a tackle. I know they said he has a guard. I think he's going to be a tackle. So, but Frank Ragnow, a lot of injuries. When you speak retirement, then it's right around the corner. I'm a huge believer in speaking the other tongue. So yeah, you start talking about retirement, you're gonna get retirement. So we knew it. People said, "Damn, we already knew it." We knew he was openly talking about it, all the injuries, and some people ain't built to play football. The average career is 2.5 years, 2.5 seasons. So some people physically ain't built to play an athletic sport, to play a sport. This is what it is. So for the most part, he just stayed injured, stayed paying through pain. Might take a year or two off, might come back, they might trade him. They might offer him a whole bunch of money, but the Lions already knew. He already knew. Like, to everybody on the outside, it's a surprise. But to the average, Lion fan, we knew this dude was hanging on the limb. All the injuries, he would, openly talk about it. Shit, he made enough money. He getting beat up, you know. And he probably said we went 15-2 last year. We probably won't be as good this year. We probably won't win a Super Bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and step away. So I respect it because not everybody can get in there and play football, man. It's taxing on the body. Everybody ain't built to put up the grind. You gotta think about it. Your season, you start in September, October, November, December. You possibly playing into January, right? You don't count February, January, right? The Super Bowl it used to ain't be no week between the Super Bowl, excuse me, and the in the world, the Super Bowl and the AFC NFC Championship game. He used to be no week. I'm old enough to remember that. So then you say, February, March, April. You know what I'm saying? You get 3 months off: February, March, April. Um, End of May, you start. Let's say end of May, you start talking about now you got voluntary OTA. So if you just got paid, or you're a team leader, or you're looking to get paid, that's very in the near future. You probably need to attend those. So for the most part, you get 3 months off, and then I say February, March, April, let's say May, you get 4 months off. Then beginning of June, they want you there for OTAs. Then in the July is it's training camp. I mean, really, you only get 4 months off. That is crazy. You only get 4 months off, and then in that 4 months, it ain't like you can't. I ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying? In that 4 months off, you still have to find the soft spot, the sweet spot between resting, letting your body rejuvenate, and then preparing your body for the next season. That's why it's so crazy that they play 17 games. They're looking to play 18 games. There's a rumor that they're looking to you're looking to do a 14 division in Europe somewhere in the future. Like, this shit is just it's too much. Really, really, NFL season probably should be about 14 games at the most. But to ask them to get out there and play 18 games, that's too much. You get 4 funky ass months off. And that ain't even really real 4 months. We just rounding up. You get 4 months off. It's taxing, bro. It's taxing because the rest, the preparation. Then where do you really get to enjoy it? If you really enjoy it too much, then you going into training camp to get in shape. And nobody ever wants to show up to training camp to get in shape. The worst fucking feeling in the world. The worst feeling in the world. To show up in the heat and be trial by fire, you want to be prepared. So it don't to me, you get 4 months off, that ain't enough time. I would trust my veterans to just be ready by July. I would let them have February, March, April, May, June, 6 months off season. If you want to come in and do some work, voluntary work, maybe you do a weight check-in or a conditioning test, and if you pass the conditioning test, you know what I'm saying, or you can have the next 2 months off. See you later. But my opinion, but happy retirement to Frank Ragnow. Check out the Detroit Lifestyle playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.